Hello, friends. We've just concluded another week of incredible stories from 365 Christian Men. I've got a couple questions for you as you ponder this week's stories and maybe what some of your takeaways from those stories were. You know, when we wrote these stories, we wrote them to be inspirational stories of real men, and we put them together intentionally because we knew that as men, we all need from time to time to either be inspired, to be challenged, maybe to be convicted, maybe all three of those things. And maybe all three of those things, all four of those things actually happened this week as you listened, watched the stories, or listened or watched the challenges. So my challenge to us this week as we reflect on what we heard and what we listened to is to be honest with ourselves by looking in the mirror and saying, have we talked ourselves out of fulfilling and finishing the race that God's called us to? You know, all of us have setbacks in this life. It's one of the reasons that we wrote a story for every day of the year. We all experience setbacks, we all experience frustrations, and maybe even at times have thought we've disqualified ourselves from finishing what God's called us to do. It's absolutely not true. So my challenge for you going into the weekend is this. Think through what God has called you to. Remember the foundational verse that we built this project on, Hebrews 12, chapter 12 and verse 1. We're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses that have run the race. And we are now, in fact, running that race. And the fact is, we get tripped up sometimes along the way. And in the race, we don't always do things exactly the way we want them to do. The question is, are you going to get back in the race? If you're out of the race, get back in. If you're struggling, keep going. If you're wondering if it's worth it, remind yourself of those that have run the race before us. God bless you. I hope you have a great weekend and be anticipating another great week of challenges in the week ahead.